And it'd be best to have something that can be more versatile. If you've got your own studio, you can go any direction you want to. Yes?
Are you thinking of anime for the shadows at all?
Yeah, I actually talked to a producer about that. The problem with that is that it's through Tokyo Pop and me. It's not just me presenting an idea, which means that Tokyo Pop would also get a big cut. And when you split the cut down the middle like that, it's kind of hard. Probably not with Funimation, it would probably be with another studio. Yeah?
You did make it an anime. Would you want to be one of the main voice actors?
Well, one of the characters is actually based on me, the narrator of the book. So I would at least want to do that. I would also love a hand in directing it and in casting it as well. Two of the characters in the book are what I call glamour gloms, certain type of fairies, and they're all named after glamour magazines. We have Vogue and Cosmo are these two main characters. And Vogue and Cosmo are based on two of my dear friends, Laura Bailey and Colleen Klinkenbeard. Except if they were evil. Because they're two of the sweetest people you can meet. But these characters are evil. So I like to cast the characters in my comics after people I know, because it gives me a basis of reality to start from. And luckily I also know actors. So I can look at an actor and go, if she were playing this part, how would she do it? And so that's what I did with these two characters, Vogue and Cosmo. It's really like if Laura and Colleen Klinkenbeard were cast as these characters, this is how they would do it. And if I was directing it, that's who I would cast those parts. I don't know who I'd cast as the main character yet. Probably Brina Valencia. Do you know her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she plays Chopper on One Piece. Awesome. It's my favorite character on the show. Any other questions? Yeah.
Other than you, who would be your favorite voice actor?
Other than me? More than myself, I would say Mel Blanc is my favorite voice actor. You guys know who Mel Blanc is?
Oh, yeah.
Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, Daffy Duck.
Just Looney Tunes in general.
Yeah, just about every Looney Tune character that was memorable was done by Mel Blanc. I loved Mel Blanc. I wanted to be Mel Blanc as a child. I also wanted to be Jack Kirby, who's a comic book artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I kind of did it. You know, I did both of my dreams, the childhood dreams, just a little bit, not quite there. But yeah, Mel Blanc was amazing, and some of the versatility in this man's voice. I mean, most voice actors can do a lot of voices, but he can put on personalities, you know, and create these characters that are just amazing. I don't think anybody's ever matched him yet. And I know a lot of voice actors. I can't think of anybody who's as good as Mel. Any other questions? Yes?
Is there any reason that you decided to go with the shadows as manga as opposed to...
Yeah, actually, originally I didn't. It wasn't supposed to be a manga. It's a book that I had on the back burner for about 10 years. Originally, what was it going to be called? Oh, it was just going to be called Goat. Goat is the name of the main character. And she was drawn completely different, very cartoony. She had a great big nose, and she was very quirky. She's actually based on an ex-girlfriend of mine. Except the nose. Well, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything about her nose because I loved her. But she was. We were kind of young when we started going. She was much younger too, and she was 20 years old when we started dating. And I watched her become from a very shy person to a very gregarious, outgoing, hard-nosed person who now writes for the Dallas Morning News. She cusses like a sailor. You know, she's like, get those reports done now. And she's an editor. You know, she's really cool. But at the time when I first met her, she was very shy. It was hard to get her to come out of her shell at all. And she was one of those people who covered their face in their hair, you know, because they want people to see her, you know. She would say things that were the wittiest things I've ever heard anyone say, you know, because she was a writer. She was just hiding. And then I got to know her more, And the more I got to know her, the more this humor started coming out. And the more she got to know me, I think a little of my gregarious wore off on her. And then we started dating, and I just watched this transformation happen. And it was so cool for me to witness that kind of change, because I've been pretty constant my whole life. But to see somebody go from this wallflower to this, gregarious, outgoing, powerful reporter, editor person was amazing. So We Shadows is actually a story like that, a coming-of-age story. Very similar to the Arthurian legend. But instead of pulling a sword out of a stone, she pulls a trigger of a big honking gun in a rock. That's the twist on that. But what was the original question? I don't know what I'm taking on that. Right. So, I have been drawing comics for 20 years. I actually was a self-publisher for a while too. And after I finished self-publishing, I started this idea of this fairy named Goat, who was very gregarious, and she had guns and stuff like that, and it just kept building and building and building into this epic idea that I thought I would never do. But one day, when I was drawing ElfQuest years later, I met Jeff Zugale, who's another ElfQuest artist, and he and I got drunk. And we got really drunk.